Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing amazing, and today I'm doing a very laid back and easy video because I was scrolling on Amazon today because, as you would have known, I have moved into this house 9 months ago. It is my first house, so I'm starting from scratch and I've been so busy and I am on a budget, and I was scrolling on Amazon for some decorations because I'm very much into the Nancy Meyers slash Ralph Lauren style. I've been looking on Amazon for a whole bunch of inspiration for what I'm going to be getting, and I thought I created a list. I might as well share it with you, as I know quite a lot of people who watch this channel also enjoy that style. So I've got a list up on my phone, and I'm just going to walk you through all the pieces that I have found, and I'm going to link them down below. So if you are interested in shopping them, then they are there and you can hopefully find something that you like. Some of the things that I am wanting to get for the house is some more artwork, because there are a lot of blank walls and I just feel that having some artwork with some gold ornate frames will just look lovely, especially when you stack them all together. One thing that I also want to mention is everything that I find is around about the £20 mark or under, as I'm on a budget and I know a lot of people will be as well, so we can get the look for less. But I found this page that have small frames but with different artwork. So we have one of a swan, we have hydrangeas, there's one of a boat, and they're £13.99 each, and I just think if you stack them all together and create a lovely collage, it will just look so beautiful on a wall, and I'm thinking this could look quite good as you go up the stairs at my house. Another thing I've been looking for is the blue and white china. So in my kitchen, that is the theme and I absolutely love it. I have china plates which look absolutely beautiful, and I found this porcelain, I believe it's a tea jar or a ginger jar, but it's this beautiful ornate pattern and I just think this looks lovely. I also like to mix and match different designs, as I just find the contrast looks beautiful, and you'll find throughout the house I love to combine patterns. So this jar I found was £14.71, which I think is quite a good bargain, and they also have lots of different designs to choose from. Now, as you know, I have some cushions. In fact, let me show you. These are the ones that came with my sofa, and I don't like them. They're not for me, but I finally found some cushion covers which I'm going to swap these, and they are a cream colour but have a little bit of a green design, as I wanted something that was a bit more bright and airy but still sort of go with the colour scheme that I got going, but doesn't clash too much with these cushions. So I have found these ones which are on the screen now, and they're £17.99 for a pack of two, which is perfect, and they do them in the 50cm size, which is what I need for this. So they're in my basket and I'm going to be ordering them very soon. Now, I love to have little trinkets, especially brass, around the house. So I've been looking for some candlestick holders, as I love to decorate a tablescape, especially when I have people come round for food. And I found these cute little candle holders, but also they look quite nice in the background if you just want to have some mood lighting. So I just thought this little pair look quite rustic and are just very sweet to have, so I quite like them. Now, going along with the brass, I found a clothes hanger for £16.99, which is brass, but then it has a nice floral ornate detail, and I think this is going to look beautiful in my bathroom. It does come with the matching toilet paper holder, which I do like. This is £25, so it doesn't go with a £20 budget, but I still think it looks really nice, and I think that is going to be a part of my collection eventually. So yes, I just think they're so pretty, and I just like to have something that's just that bit different rather than just having your standard, here's a hook, here's this. Like, I love details that just add a bit of whimsy to a home. I then found another cushion that some people might be interested in. This was another option I was looking for the sofa, and this is a nice striped cushion which is smaller. I then found another floral vase which I just thought looked so pretty, and I like the little flower detailing as well. This one is £18.99, which I think is quite a decent price for it. And I think this could look quite nice in my kitchen as well. I then found a pack of 2 electric candles, which I thought could be quite nice. I'm thinking in a glass vase that's quite tall, and you can just sit them in the corner of the room or on the table in front of you. And it's quite nice just to have that little bit of mood lighting if you don't want to light a candle. I think this is one of my favourite finds on Amazon, And this is a beautiful alarm clock. Now, I wouldn't use it for an alarm clock, but I just love that sleek silver look. And for £12.99 as well, I think that's really sweet. So eventually I'm going to get this and have it on my media wall by the television so I can just see the time. Sometimes I find clocks to be a bit ghastly, or at least I haven't found that I liked. I do quite like a grandmother clock or a really old-fashioned type, but I just think this one that I found here is just a nice little alternative that could just look really sweet in a home. When I've been looking at examples for Nancy Meyer home inspiration, the one thing I always find are coffee table books, and they can be quite pricey, so I'm always on the lookout to just buying ones that I think are quite nice, that have different styles or have different types of content. Otherwise you're just getting so many home books. So I found this Monet one, which is £12, which is currently on offer, so I think it's quite a good deal. Usually you can be paying £20 to £30 or even £40 for a hardcover. And then going along the theme of the coffee table books, I then found this flower one, which showcases different flower arrangements in a home. And this one's £20.53. It's lovely just to have different books around the house that you can look at, especially to have on the coffee table. And then for my final coffee table book, I found one which shows decorated kitchens, but I just thought the cover of this would look quite nice if you like to have neutral coloured books. This one is reduced as well. It's now £14.84, which I think is quite a good price. So I think this is quite nice to have in your kitchen if you like to have more neutral colours as well. Now, another thing that I like are statues and ornaments. So I've just been scrolling through quite a few and I saved some of my favourites. So the first one that I found was this black horse statue ornament, and I believe it is resin, and it's not too big, but I just like the darkness and the silhouette. If you had this on a shelf with like some books stacked like long ways like this, and then you have the horse standing here, I think that could look absolutely beautiful. So we have this horse one, and this one's quite cheap as well. I think it's about £9. Or if you want one that's a bit bigger and more, I guess, elegant, then I have this one which is £18, but this one's a lot more durable and it just has a bit more detail to it. So if you're happy to spend a little bit more, then this one is an option too, and I think this is my favourite out of all of them. Now, I've been looking for lamps, which eventually I'm going to have like a coffee table or even have some in the kitchen or the bedside table, as we love to have soft lighting. And I found this one which has got frosted glass, and I'll be honest, it was hard finding a lamp that's under the £20 or around the £20 budget. This one was £22, but I just like the shape. I think it's quite unique. And there are a lot more, but they're more on the pricier side, but I just feel like this is quite a nice option. I then found another one which again is £22.79, so not under the £20 budget, but this is your more classic with the lampshade with the brass or silver base, and it's a little tap one, so if you're wanting to have more softer lighting, I think this one could look quite nice on the windowsill. So if you're wanting to have a bit of light but just not all overwhelming, but just wanting the coziness of it, then this is quite a good option to have. Now, speaking along with having things on the windowsill, one of my favourite things to do are to have lots of frames that are in silver that have photos of all my family, but I print these in black and white, and just looking at them, they look so classy, and it's just very nice to see all the little memories that we have of both mine and my Matthew's family. So I found a bunch of frames that are quite affordable, but these are silver plated, so they have that nice elegance to it, and I just think they look lovely. Having picture frames all over the place of family and memories are just lovely to have, and having them in the silver, especially if you print it out in black and white, I just think it looks so classy and it just looks lovely. I love looking at this little corner of all the images, and I've got some new frames that have arrived that I need to purchase some images for. Now, if you have your coffee table, I like to get trays that you can put things on, because then you can create different things. So for example, you can have your coasters, you can have a candle, you can have a flower on the tray, and when you pair these together it just looks elegant. So I found this rattan tray which I think looks quite nice, especially when you combine different textures. It just makes it really interesting to look at, and I think this could look quite nice. Now, back to what I was saying about the blue and white porcelain. I have found this tray which I thought looked quite interesting. It's a little serving dish, but it has a beautiful blue and white ornate pattern, as you can see. And for £11, I thought this is nice. So you could have it on display on the wall. Eventually I want to get some plates on the wall in my kitchen in the blue and white china that have different patterns, and I just think it's going to look so pretty. And then I have got my plates already. So the ones on the screen right now are similar to the ones that I got. This one is £9.49, but that's just for the one plate. So you could just customise of how many you want, but I love serving on these plates. It just looks interesting rather than just having the white plates, which I do also have, but combining the white, like plain white plates, but then having the blue china as well, it looks so pretty, and I just love having these, especially combining them together. Now I found this really pretty milk pitcher or jug, and this is going to be perfect for having flowers in. I don't drink milk, and I don't know if I'd use it for anything, maybe for juice perhaps if serving, but I found this because I thought you could style this really nicely in the kitchen. You could put some wooden kitchen utensils in there and have that on the side, or flowers, which I think a lot of people do, like having peonies in them will look absolutely gorgeous in the kitchen. I've been looking for a throw for my sofa for ages and I still haven't found one that I like, but I found this one which I'm thinking about more due to the colouring, but I just like that there's texture to it. And I know for a lot of the Nancy Meyers aesthetic, which doesn't really fit for me, but it may fit for other people, is having light coloured fabrics. So for me, I have dark green curtains now, so I am looking for a dark green that will match that and also match the greens that are in these cushions because they're identical. I am looking for this one in the dark green, but I've got this here just because I think it'd be a nice example, and actually I'm thinking that it could be good for my bedspread. Now I don't know about you, but I absolutely love chopping boards. I have 3 of them already, and actually I think it's one of the first things I ever bought for my home. But I just love what you can do with them. You can style them in your kitchen, you can hide the ugly plug sockets, and you can style it with books and other bits and pieces. You can serve things with them or use them as an actual chopping board. So I found this one which has a little handle which I think will be really nice for serving cheeses and making a charcuterie board, and it's only £10 on Amazon. So one thing I really want to have are some cookie jars. So with these ones that I've got here, you get the pair, and they're quite small, but you could serve little things and have them out on display or on a counter, or you could use them for storage of some sort, like, I don't know, maybe cotton balls or something. Or I just feel like they're very versatile and you can do a lot with them, and they're quite nice to have and quite handy. Or if you have the faux candles, you could put them in that and have them on display when you've got guests around. It just creates something a bit more visually pleasing to the eye. But if you're wanting to have cotton balls and stuff, then I found some candy jars, which I've got. I love to have bonbon dishes and putting hair ties in them, earbuds, cotton ball balls, all sorts, and I just think they're so pretty. And I found this one for £11.99, which is quite ornate looking or quite art deco, but I just think it looks really nice. And if you pair this with silver coloured, like, I don't know, a mirror or a little serving platter, it will just look so classy. So for example, with this tray that I found on Amazon, this one's £18.53, and I love having these silver ones on a vanity, and you just put your bonbon dishes on top of it with your little bits and pieces that you need, and then you can put your hand cream on it, your hairbrush, your mirror, and all of a sudden you have a really gorgeous area that looks beautiful. Or you could put your perfumes on it and you can style it, and it just looks really nice. Now I love to have terracotta pot, and I found this vase on Amazon for £16.99, and I just think it's quite pretty, and I think this could look really nice upstairs in my bedroom by the mirror and just have some flowers in it. Now for some more knickknacks, I found these distressed artichoke decorations which I thought looked pretty, and I've seen people have like bowls and they stack a few of these in the bowls, and they look so pretty to have as decorations in the kitchen. Or I think some have done it on some hallway tables as well with a mirror. So there's a lot you can do with it, but I just feel like these are quite pretty and could look quite nice if you get quite a few of them, or if you just have one and have it on the side as decoration. Now I love a good basket, and there's going to be lots of baskets that I'll be buying eventually. So I found this little wicker one, which technically is for a hamper, but I'm thinking of just using it as storage and putting it in your cupboards and doing all sorts, so everything just feels a bit more organised. Or let's say, for me, I have some coasters which the dish isn't the best, it's just like a wire one, but you could just put your coasters inside the little wicker basket along with some matches and other little bits that you need for your table, and all of a sudden you have more of a curated collection and it just looks nicer and more presentable. And then I found these cute little baskets with the handles, which you get the pair for £12. They're quite small, but what I've done in my airing cupboard is I've got a little basket a bit like this already, and I've put in some tea towels, I've put in the reusable washcloths, so they're just all stacked together so I know where everything is, and they're just such a cute way of storing them. So I'm getting a few more eventually, as I think this will just look really lovely. Then I found another type of bonbon dish if the other one was too art deco for you. This one has a nice, more of a frilly, I don't know how to describe, like a ribbed pattern, but they just look really lovely, and again you get the pair for them. And one thing I'm starting to appreciate is having plain simple items. So I found this beautiful wide sort of, I don't know how to describe it, like slightly domed vase, but I just feel like this looks really lovely with flowers, and I just can imagine having it out on the side with some freshly cut hydrangeas. I think that'll just be absolutely beautiful. So I found this, and also you could probably put your candle in it as well, and it would just be so pretty. I found this dish, the one I've got here is the cheapest one of £20.85, but looking on the website they have some that go for like £40, so it depends on the material. But they're little bowls that you can store your fruit in, as I feel like having a fruit bowl is really nice to have. But then also you could use this with the artichoke decoration and stack those, and all together that could be a really nice decoration. So they're quite versatile and quite handy to have as a part of your collection. Okay, so I love having different teacups and saucers, and it reminds me of when I was in France and my grandma having some, and she, if I remember rightly, she had a very Nancy Meyers coded house, and I'm finding I'm wanting quite a few bits and pieces like hers. So I found this set which has the florals, but I also found the plain version as well. But I just feel like the details are so pretty and I absolutely love them. And then I found the matching teapot to the white one. So having that as the set, I just think is so pretty and it'll look really nice. And I think this will be quite nice, although I'm thinking of getting a silver teapot because I'm extra like that. Now this might be a bit of a random one, but I found this olive oil decanter, which I think is really pretty. I currently have one right now, but it's broken, which I'm really annoyed about, so I'm having to replace that. And actually I found this glass one which fits a lot more, which I think is quite pretty, so I think this will be on my list. And I just quite like the little olive decoration that's on the glass, and it can look really lovely, so yeah, that's one that's on my list to get. Now back to some decorations. I found this one of a stag and a deer, and I think this is so sweet. I'm just looking at little bits and pieces that I think will look quite nice with some books when I have the media wall, and as I love the countryside, having that aspect I just think is perfect for something to have in my home, and I just think it's so pretty. And then if you're not into the brass, I found this white porcelain or white china swan, and I think it's really pretty. This will look nice stacked with some books or on its own, and you can just play around with the styling, but it's quite a nice plain versatile piece, so it'll pretty much go with everything. But for me, I like to have the brass, and going with the countryside theme, I found this pheasant one which I thought is really pretty, so having the different elements around the house would be quite nice. Now as I was going for the coasters, I had a thought about what about some like silver looking one. So I had a look online, and yeah, I found some which I thought they're quite a nice little piece set to have. They can just look nice on a coffee table if you just want something that will go with your other silver pieces, so you can have a whole set. So I thought they're pretty good. They're just little stainless steel ones, and for £7 you can't go wrong. And finally I found this tea towel set, which to be honest I actually have a set very similar to this already, but I was just having a little nosy, and I just thought these are quite nice to have. They go with the white and blue theme, and I just think that overall they're really pretty. I hope this video has given you a little bit of inspiration. I am aware with the Nancy Meyers aesthetic especially, it's not something that you can just create overnight. This is something that you find pieces as time goes on, as you go to different places and you just find little bits that you think, oh, this will be perfect, oh, this will be good. I just wanted to have a little look on Amazon, see what's available, because I know you can find these pieces a lot cheaper if you thrift them, or that's the American word, if you go to charity shops or car boots. And that's where I found most of my pieces, and to be honest, that's where I'm going to be finding most of the things that I will be getting. But sometimes it can be hard for people to do that, because there's times I've been to charity shops and there's absolutely nothing, and getting to a car boot can be quite hard, especially if you can't drive. So sometimes your only option is looking on Amazon, and I just wanted to create this little list just to show you that it is possible, and there are little bits and pieces out there. Like, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect, just get bits for your home that you love, that you feel drawn to and make you happy, because it's your home at the end of the day. And you know, people can tell you like, oh, do this, do that, blah 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 blah, but if you're happy, that's all that matters. And Amazon can have lots of different bits and pieces if you know what to look for, because when I just searched up Nancy Meyers aesthetics, a couple of these items came up. But what I did was I went on Pinterest and picked out different items that were in the mood boards and just searched these up separately. And Amazon had an abundance of all these to choose from. So, you know, you don't have to break the bank to achieve the aesthetic, or you don't have to spend ages looking through charity shops and car boots or thrift shops, whatever it's called in your country. But yes, I hope this video just gave you a little bit of inspiration. Thank you all so much for watching if you made it to the end, and if you like more videos like this, make sure to subscribe and leave this video a like, and I'll see you all very soon in my next video. Bye guys!